Universal's newest park, Epic Universe, hasn't even opened yet, and they've already announced another park. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Amusement Time, where we talk about Funko Pops, theme parks, pop culture, a whole bunch of fun stuff. And we have a giant announcement this week from Universal. Another one. Of course, Epic Universe previews have just started. We've gotten some content coming out of Epic Universe, and we just got word that annual pass holders are now able to purchase early preview tickets to Epic Universe, which is freaking awesome. So now there's going to be tons and tons more people able to experience Epic Universe, and it hasn't even opened yet. It doesn't open until May 22nd. And now Universal just hit us with a whole nother bomb, saying that they're going to open another park in the UK. With the prospects of Back to the Future, Jurassic World, potentially Jaws, and Shrek, there's so many possibilities with this park, so you know what? Let's take a look. Alright guys, do me a favor before we get started, click that like button, click that subscribe button, it really does help us out a lot. So you know what, let's get started and check out this new park. Universal has just been hitting us with bomb after bomb after bomb, just tons and tons of awesome announcements this week. I wouldn't be surprised if we get Halloween Horror Nights announcements. And we still got Fan Fest, there's tons and tons of stuff. We got Epic Universe, we have the UK park, we have Fan Fest about to start, and of course I think we're gonna get some announcements for Halloween Horror Nights pretty soon. Who knows? You know, but Universal is just keeping their foot on the gas, and they don't look like they're stopping. They want to be the #1 destination this summer and for the foreseeable future, so it's gonna be tons of awesome cool news coming out from Universal. But let's dive into this UK park, because there's so many potential awesome lands that is coming from Back to the Future. That's what I'm hoping for. Jurassic World, what else are we thinking of? There might be a Shrek land. We don't know yet for sure. This is all just speculation, you know what, but let's check it out. Starting off, look how awesome this concept art looks. Of course, it's just concept art. A lot of it can change. We don't know, but Universal tends to be pretty good sticking to their concept art. When you look at what Epic Universe looks like compared to their concept art, it is pretty close. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is pretty dead on. Alright, so when you start off here with your entrance, you kind of have like a main street area. On the left, you have a brand new hotel that's supposed to be just like Helios Grand, but I'm pretty sure it's at 500 rooms. Imagine what it's going to look like when we actually... It has to be a pretty big hotel, like the size of Grand Helios, you know, with the 500 rooms and stuff like that. It's going to be freaking awesome, guys. And it's just another hotel that you could stay in the park and just be able to conveniently enter the park. That's awesome, you know, that's why I can't wait to go to Epic Universe. I have to stay at the Helios Grand, so that way it'd be easy and convenient to go into the park. I can't wait. Okay, so let's get into the speculation. Of course, we know we have the hotel. Okay, but look over this right here. It kind of looks like DreamWorks Theater, doesn't it? Doesn't it not? That's what I've seen a lot of people speculating, that it's either going to be a DreamWorks Theater type area, or potentially, what is it? I've also seen rumors of potentially a show, like a 007 show going there instead of back here. You never know. I really don't know, but I've seen both things. I'm potentially thinking it's going to be another DreamWorks Theater, especially because if it's right there, right before your this DreamWorks or Illuminations land, I have a feeling. And another thing we were wondering that we saw is that this area down here, people are speculating Jaws, you know. Clearly we don't see a show building for a ride, so if it was going to be a Jaws area, it would probably just be like an Amity type restaurant, maybe a gift shop. I'm not sure. People also saw this back here and they were saying, is this attached to this theater? Is this just like, that's the entrance to the theater and that's the theater itself? Or is there a show building attached to this little area right here? I don't know. We don't know. They said they thought it was attached to the theater, but then they said that there's this gap here. We don't know yet for sure, you know, but if it is a Jaws land, it doesn't really look like it's going to get a ride, which is a bummer. That's what we would, of course, want the most, you know, is a Jaws ride, of course, since it's only place to go on the Jaws ride is in Japan, and I don't speak Japanese. No, it wouldn't matter. I'd still go. But then over here, it looks like we have this whole Illuminations area. You know, a lot of people have been speculating like a DreamWorks land, Illuminations areas where you'll have a Despicable Me or Minions Mayhem ride. You know, it looks like we got a green coaster here. What do you think that could be? Do you think it almost like another Troller coaster, but it looks like potentially, I don't know, is it raised or is it above water? I can't tell. It doesn't look like it's above water because this is all water, but there's something underneath it. But some kind of roller coaster, you know, or what if this isn't a Shrek land, which people are projecting that this is a Shrek land, and that's just a Shrek coaster, and it coincides with this, and this really is Lord of the Rings, or potentially a Dark Universe. I don't know, we'll get to that in a second.
you know, but there'll most likely be a Minion Mayhem in there. I don't know if there'll be a Secret Life of Pets ride too, but obviously looks like there's going to be a family type roller coaster there. You know, who knows what IP it will be for. Could be a Troller Coaster, could be a Shrek roller coaster, we do not know. Moving on to this land up here, I've seen a lot of speculation about it being a Shrek land. Apparently this building really looks like the Poison Apple, who knows, but we have potentially a Shrek land. I've seen rumors that it could be Shrek, I've seen rumors that it could be the Lord of the Rings, and I've also seen potentials of it being another Dark Universe type land. We don't know, but if you look here, we have, of course, this building here, which people are thinking it's going to be a restaurant. It's going to be that Poison Apple Tavern or whatever it's called. Let me know in the comments, I can't remember. And then this looks like definitely a show building, you know, a second biggest in the whole land, you know, so a decent sized ride. So would it be a Shrek Dark ride? You know, if it was a Dark Universe, would it be another type of dark ride for Dark Universe? I do not know. You know, or if it was a Lord of the Rings land, who knows what kind of ride it could be. It could be obviously a dark ride for Lord of the Rings, you know, but there's so much potential. What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see Shrek, Lord of the Rings? You guys want to see another Dark Universe over there? Let me know, guys. Then over here, I've seen a lot of stuff. Either people are saying, of course, Waterworld, or a 007 James Bond type of spectacular stunt show type thing, you know. I'm leaning more towards James Bond. Waterworld is just such an irrelevant IP, you know, and the movie is not like the greatest movie to begin with, you know what I mean? Unless you're a diehard Kevin Costner fan, then I can see you really liking the movie. But Waterworld is such an old movie, and it's an old IP, irrelevant, you know. James Bond, I guess, is catching some steam right now, because I'm pretty sure I read that Amazon got the rights to making them, so now they're going to make a new James Bond. I do not know who James Bond is going to be now, you know, a lot of actors floating around, but who knows, it's going to be relevant again, so potential for James Bond is high, you know. But what do you guys want to see? I don't know. I'm not a big James Bond fan either, you know, so it's not like it would matter if it was James Bond or Waterworld, you know. It would still be one of the last things on my list to do, so make it a cooler IP, guys. Make it something cool that I actually want to see. Okay, but then we also have this roller coaster over here. This looks pretty dope. I don't know if this is going to be, with it being green, I don't know if it's like attached to this little bridge to the Shrek land, or is this part of this potential Jurassic World land? Because over here, we clearly have like a Jurassic World type area, you know. If you can see, it looks like people have been saying that this is like a tower drop ride, you know? It could be, or it could even just be a Jurassic gate. What if it's just, it looks like a tower drop ride, but what if it's just a gate? A Jurassic World type gate where there's water leading out. I don't know. I'm just looking at the concept art. But we also have this massive show building here, which is supposedly going to be like the Jurassic World in Beijing, in Universal Beijing, which looks freaking awesome. It looks like a dope freaking ride, and I would be psyched to ride that if it happens to come. But I don't know what the IP for this roller coaster would be. Is it in this land? Is it in this one? Is it Jurassic World one? Is it a potential Shrek roller coaster since it's green? I've seen rumors floated around that it could be Wicked, which I wickedly hate. I'm sorry. I don't want it to be Wicked. I've never seen Wicked. I like The Wizard of Oz. You know, I loved The Wizard of Oz growing up. But is it something that I want to, like, I don't know. I know people are probably like, oh, I'm going to get you for going after Wicked. But I don't want to see a Wicked IP, you know. Let me know down in the comments. Do you want a Wicked ride? Do you want a Wicked roller coaster? Or do you not? Or would you rather have it almost like a different type of dinosaur roller coaster, like a Velocicoaster or something, just different, obviously. You know, let me know, what do you guys want to see? You know, but there's the potential drop towers. We have this massive show building for that potential Jurassic World, like a Jurassic, just like Universal Beijing. And then we have this massive roller coaster that looks freaking awesome, you know. I'd ride it. I don't know. It depends how high it is. I'm afraid of heights, you know, but I still want to ride it, you know. Down here, this looks like the most exciting land. The two potential rumors that I've seen, well, actually three I've seen floating around. The biggest being Back to the Future, which I hope it is Back to the Future. If it's Back to the Future, it's a guaranteed trip. I am going to the UK just to see that land. You know, I want to. You know, at least I'll have 6 years to work my way up and to save the money and everything and plan accordingly. 6 years seems like enough time to be able to plan accordingly. You know, but a lot of people are saying that this looks like Hill Valley right here, you know, and Courthouse Square.
The top of the building is flat, you know, it's a square building, but the top of the building's flat, so I don't know. But you never know, it's just concept art. But I would love it to be Courthouse Square. Oh my goodness, that would be so cool. That's why I want to go to FanFest so bad, you know. Oh, I wish I could. I'm still trying to see if I can fit it in the budget. I do not know. You know, it's just the stay that's expensive, because I have to freaking spend how much on hotels and then gas. Oh my goodness. You know, if I lived closer, then it would be no problem and no question. But with having to be 12 hours away, a la verga. Okay, back to this. But if this is a Back to the Future land, I am definitely going to be there. Because look at this coaster, guys. If this is a Back to the Future coaster, you know, it looks like it. Look at this right here. That looks scary. That looks scary. You know, like I said, I'm afraid of heights. All of this looks fine. I don't even mind that or anything like that. But it'd be, oh my goodness, that looks scary. So what if it's something that's gonna shoot you out backwards, so that way you can hit 88 miles per hour, boom, and then you hit 88 miles per hour going back down when it launches you that way. I don't know. I have no clue, but it's gonna be fast. It looks like it's gonna be mighty. Oh, it looks like it's gonna be scary, you know, but I still would want to. If it was Back to the Future, I'd still have to ride it, you know, I'd have to, you know. And then we have this little area down here, which a lot of speculation is going around that it's gonna be a Paddington area. You know, apparently Paddington's really big in the UK. I've never seen any of the Paddington movies, or I wouldn't know anything about Paddington, you know, but rumor is that it's going to be a Paddington play area. It looks like we have a little umbrella type ride right here, you know. Like I said, I don't really know much about Paddington, so I wouldn't know. A lot of people are saying this looks like Peru, but I don't know. You know, guys, what do you think? Would it be a Paddington area? If this is going to be an Illuminations land and like a DreamWorks type land, then I would think this might be a Paddington area, another area for kids. So you got 2 areas for kids right here, you know, and then you got some, you know, bigger rides moving on, you know. But I really am excited for this park. Like I said, if this is a Back to the Future land, you know, I'm going. I'm already gonna have to start planning it. The moment they say that is a Back to the Future land, it's like, oh my goodness, now I'm gonna have to start planning a trip. Start planning a trip to the UK. But I guess that'd be fun. I've always wanted to go there. Yeah, that'd be a really fun trip for the future, guys. But let me know, what are you excited for out of all of these IPs that are potentially coming to this park? What IPs do you want to see? Do you want to see a Back to the Future land? Do you want to see another Jurassic World? Do you want to see a Shrek land? You know, what do you guys want up here? Because this is the one that's the biggest question. I guess it's Roller Coaster too, but this is the biggest question up here. This is going to be a DreamWorks type of Illuminations land. This is, you know, most likely going to be a Back to the Future land. Oh yeah, I forgot about the other IPs. There's a potential James Bond I've seen, or Fast and the Furious. Neither of those better happen. Back to the Future, that's what we want. That's why we won't even talk about it. We'll just sweep that under the rug and we won't even talk about it. We'll just say Back to the Future and we'll make it happen. We'll believe it, manifest it. We'll make it happen, guys. It's gonna be Back to the Future. Alright, so let me know, which one are you guys excited for? Back to the Future, Jurassic World. Over here, do you want to see Shrek? Do you want to see Lord of the Rings? That's a high potential. That would be, can you imagine the first Lord of the Rings park? People would be excited, you know? Do you want to see a Dark Universe over there? That's the biggest question, guys. Shrek, Dark Universe, Lord of the Rings? I don't know. Let me know what you guys want to see, and what are you most excited for this park? You know, guys, like I said, Back to the Future, #1 for me. Alright guys, I really appreciate you hanging out with me and taking the time to watch this video. If you liked it, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Come hang out with us more often. Like I said, we talk about Funko Pops, theme parks, pop culture, a whole bunch of fun stuff, you know, and come hang out with us more often, guys. Alright, my friends, so that is it for today, and until next time, I will see you guys later.